What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, season 14 runner-up of American Idol, and we're going into part 2 of Showstoppers week. Let's go. In the beginning of making these videos, it was just kind of for the fans that watched and for people who found me. I knew it was inevitable when contestants would see it and they'd start to watch it. When I was on the show, there was a review video that we all watched together and it was really well done, and it tore some people up and it was entertaining and insightful for others. The idea of me saying something that hurts and discourages another contestant, another artist, wrecks me and goes exactly against my life goal, the antithesis of what I want to do with my life. In order to make these videos accurate and of high quality, I have to give critique and I have to give negative feedback to keep the integrity of this review video. That's not soft, but just honest insight from someone who's been on the show and a singer and performer and artist today. So let me say this, if you were a contestant, and it's hard for me to say because I've talked to a lot of you and I love the interaction I have with you guys and talking about the videos, but as someone who wants you to succeed more than I want you to watch this video, in general, I would say don't watch review videos. Some people are gonna be fine with it. I was able to watch review videos and it would either encourage me or light my fire if they said something negative, and trust me, there were plenty of times when review videos that I watched were negative against me and would say things that I thought were ridiculous about me or about another contestant, and that's gonna be me. Let me say this too, just real clear. I don't matter to your career. I don't matter. People like me with a microphone set up and a camera and cheap LED lights behind my futon, my opinion doesn't matter when it pertains to your career. I'm gonna have opinions. I'm a person. I'm a single person. People disagree with me all the time. People don't like performances that I love. People love performances that I don't. My opinion, although I'm experienced in what I'm talking about, does not hold the weight of absolute truth. From my heart, my pure desires for you to do better. On to the show. For the intro, we have another beautiful belting montage. They're just weird, bro. No one has thought about this. No one said anything to them ever in the 20 billion years they've been on TV. No one said like, hey, the random notes people are singing in different keys behind music that's in another key is a little weird. Next time I gotta promote something, I'm just gonna make my own montage. Tonight at 6:30 Central, Clark Beckham will be tackling each performance, giving his honest feedback and review for people just like you and me. This is a weird montage. First, they confirmed to us that ALANIS and Casey make it. As soon as I saw ALANIS make it through, I was like, all right, Casey's gonna make it through too, and they did. WILLIE Spence is our first singer. His pitch was freaking perfect. But as far as the performance goes, I was actually pretty bored by it. I felt like it was good, and I was frustrated with myself that I wasn't loving it, and I didn't. My favorite part was at the very end, where he was kind of singing freely over the ending chords, and that was really sweet. I don't know why, I just wasn't a big fan of this performance. He makes it through, of course, and I'm happy that he did, and I'm looking forward to his performances, but it didn't do anything for me at this time. Usually I love key changes. It didn't do it for me. I don't know why. The keyboard player missed a downbeat, so the band was a little off. I just wasn't into it. Katie says stay connected and does this little motion. She means the Lord because she's got the ghost. She's got the ghost. They show Camille. I haven't seen her a lot except in ALTHEA's duet, and that was probably just because they were highlighting ALTHEA a lot. She sounded good, looks great, had a great attitude in the duets, and she didn't make it. I wasn't going crazy that she didn't make it. She was a little bitter. She said, I'm an artist and I feel like a lot of other people are just singers. No offense. That's what she did. She did a little hair. Well, she was playing with the hair the whole time. It's not like she kind of did. Gosh, that lawnmower, bro. I don't like when the judges give these small critiques right before they cut them. I don't like that because it makes it sound like that's why they got cut. So when they say, I didn't like your song choice, thought it was the wrong song, I'm sorry, it's a no, it makes it sound like if they would have picked the right song, they'd be in the top 24. And at this point, if you don't make it in the top 24, it is likely because of the body of work that you have presented, not because you picked one wrong song at the last performance. I wish they'd just be more honest with them and say, there's not a lot of spots. You're wonderful. I'm so sorry. We can't let you in. You can still build suspense that way. When they give these little critiques and then cut them right after, it gives the wrong message. Mary Jo Young, she had some pitch issues. She's still pretty green when it comes to performing. She was okay, I wasn't going nuts over this one. She goes through and she barely reacts. And then she tells her mom, and her mom barely reacts. That tells me one of two things. One, she was absolutely certain that she was making it through and she wasn't surprised, and neither was her mom, which says a lot about confidence. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You can go in and have full faith that you're gonna go through. I don't mind that at all, but I wasn't sure she was gonna go through. I didn't think she showed enough to have that confidence of, I'm for sure gonna go through. So that's one option. The second option is maybe she just doesn't know how to react, and maybe she got it from her mom, not knowing how to react with excitement and emotions. I get that. I am that guy. I am the guy that you give a Christmas present, I open it up, and I love it, and I have no idea what to do, and I feel very awkward, and maybe her and I are similar in that way. Hunter Metz. He talks about the expectation that he's had put on him by others and also the judges when they say, I think you're top 10 material. And he's afraid that he's not gonna live up to that. And he says something so true here. He said that they said I'm top 10 material. He said, but my parents are top 10 too, and they didn't make it. And that is so real. The music industry is not a meritocracy. It's not something that if you're really good, that means you're gonna do really well. It doesn't always go to the best singer, the best performer. It just doesn't. There's so many other factors involved, and a lot of it's luck. My dad, best singer I've ever heard in my life, period. Everybody thought he was gonna be a big star. Great songwriter, has everything going for him. Stud, good looking, everything. And he didn't make it. And so at an early age, I knew it doesn't matter how great you are. That doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be a big star. It just doesn't. The good thing for Hunter is all that he has to do is open his mouth and sing. His voice sounds so good and it's so cool that he could absolutely sing the phone book and I'm gonna buy the album. He is an extremely good looking kid. I say kid, I don't know how old he is. He's very good looking. His pitch is perfect. His style is so good. His arrangements are great. He has loads of artistry. The judges said, well, see, I get so mad at this. They have their obligatory critique, the negative say. They said, well, we loved you in your audition, but then we were wondering where our Hunter was. When? What are you talking about? Were you talking about his duets? Because that was a smash. Are you talking about his genre challenge? Because that was a smash too. What are you saying? Where's our Hunter? You don't even mean that. You don't even mean it. And you're saying these things. It makes him feel bad. It doesn't matter that he makes it through and you say, but we're all good. You still said we didn't know where you went. That's his fear. That's his fear that you'd say these great things and then he wouldn't be good and you're playing into it. Listen, if you're a contestant and you are watching still, please don't take any critique that the judges say during this section. Listen to all their critique and all other moments. But this is so clearly them saying something for us, to give us suspense as viewers, to make us nervous. Please don't take what they say. They don't even mean it. And what they're saying makes no sense in these situations most of the time. So just clear wash, just clean it all out. Don't even, in this situation, listen to them every other time because they're really great. They give really good advice. But anything they said to you on camera when you sat down in that fancy little white chair, if it doesn't quite make sense to you, throw it out. Just throw that one out because this is so fake and contrived. Althea Grace, I think she does a great song. Katie says, I think you picked the wrong song, and then cuts her. Again, I don't want to be a broken record. I wouldn't have picked her for my top 24. I'm fine with the decision. When you say, like, I think it's the wrong song, sorry, you're gone. Communicates the wrong message. I need to relax. Ronda and Funke, it's unfortunate because they show a little bit of Ronda's performance and unfortunately they show the roughest part of her performance. She really missed on a couple notes in a row that she was really trying to go for and didn't hit it, and that's all they showed. That's rough. That's when I knew that she wasn't gonna make it. Funke, they showed a little bit of her. She sings pretty far back in her throat as far as her vocal placement goes, which is cool. I'm not into it personally in this case. Neither of them make the top 24. Next is Grace Kinsler. I liked the first half of her performance a billion times more than the second half. I am losing my mind in the beginning.
Father, I wanna say thank you.
Gross.
Even if I can't understand.
Dadgummit.
Oh, you left us alone. But I guess that's what made me who I am.
Then when it gets to the giant belting super high notes, It felt like to me that she wasn't standing and putting her weight on those notes, that there wasn't a lot of foundation. It was like she was standing next to a ledge and reaching over and trying to carry those notes with her arm rather than be those notes. Does that make sense? I'm worried that the high notes for her, that her range is a little bit of a crutch. She feels like she has to do that in order to perform and be good enough, and not to steal a line from Katie, but I feel that so much. I felt for so long after playing on the street corner for years that if I didn't sing big high notes to make people go, whoa, what's that? I thought that people would leave, literally leave my concerts if they didn't hear big giant notes every 45 seconds. And I'm afraid that she has a little bit of that. I just want to tell her, Grace, if you're watching this, your voice is amazing from top to bottom. That top of that song, oh my gosh, swimming in just goodness, ooey gooey goodness. I don't think she has absolute full total control of her upper range. And it's super upper, it's really impressive, but to me it's about 90% there. You want to sing your 100%, or like I said in the previous video, you want to find your 10s, sing your 10s, what you can do perfectly 10 out of 10 times. And that first half, especially the first 20 seconds, whoo, I don't think there's anyone in the show that can do that as good as she can. DESHAWN Goncalves, I just love him. I love him. I love his wardrobe choices. He does this little mic circle thing that Luke almost imitates, but he stops himself. I didn't actually love this performance. I thought it was a little too much, but he makes it through. Really happy about it. There's a mic technique that I think he's trying to do where you sing and then you leave the mic and then you just kind of come back and forth, or some version of that. I've wanted to do it myself, and I've done exactly what I think DESHAWN does here. Don't quite have the gumption to actually take the mic away from your voice completely because it feels so counter what you're supposed to do. So you just do it a little bit. And so you pretty much just get emotion without the effect. If you're gonna go for it, you just gotta go for it. That comes from someone who's tried it, and I still haven't done it right. COLIN JAMESON sings a really cool song. Starts off on piano and then gets up and gets grooving, kind of like DESHAWN did. Producers and the judges, they want to see somebody who they know can handle and take full reign of the giant stage with the huge production and the lights and all the cameras that you get in this next section of the show. And he's showing that he can handle that and will walk all over that stage. He does really well here. He's still doing a little bit of the breathy stuff that's a little too much for me, especially when he comes down. In the verse, he would sing up here and it was really pretty, and then when he come down, it was just lost in breath. You're just a line in a song. Like, hit that note. Like, let that note ring. But that is a personal preference. It's style we're talking about. So he can do whatever he wants. There's no right or wrong way to do it, in my opinion. That's a style thing. He's got to make that choice only if he agrees and feels that. If he wants to stick with that and that's his style and he enjoys it, he should stick to that. LAILA. If LAILA doesn't make it, I'm going to lose it. Don't do this. Do not.
The skill set, the talent.
Do not cut her.
You did so much of the right stuff.
Don't.
But I think it's a matter of timing for you.
Don't.
Sometimes we have to say no.
But.
And I'm sorry that you will not be going forward to the top 20.
No! Oh! Dadgummit. Well, last episode they cut their best performer in Amanda. Then they cut their most interesting contestant, which is Murphy. And then they made up for it by cutting the contestant who shows the most potential as an artist. Such a mistake. Such a mistake. Ava August goes through. Ava's growing on me, but LAILA, they made a mistake. LAILA is a superstar. And this might be good for her because as soon as you get in the top 24, you are subject to the infamous contract. But if you don't make it to the top 24, then you cannot be signed to that. If you're in the top 24, you could potentially get signed to the contract, which could be a good thing, and some people don't want that. They want freedom. I wasn't signed to the contract, and I loved my career right after Idol. that I was able to just go and kind of do whatever I want, not worry about anyone else being in control of my career. Some people want a big machine to push them, even though it takes cuts out of your pay, and go for it that way. That works for some people, it doesn't work for others. I enjoyed and still enjoy the independence of being an independent artist, and she's gonna find out what that's like too. Then they followed up with RENEE, and they cut her too. Woo, you're gonna have some angry fans. People have been asking, where's RENEE, where's RENEE, where's RENEE, and then they show her just to take her away from you. She sounds the best she's ever sounded, in my opinion. Doesn't matter, you're cut. Cutting a lot of really good singers and letting some people in that are not fit for that description. Not gonna say names. I might say names, probably won't. I just can't take these cuts like this. I mean, I just hurt too much. You know what I mean? When people go home that I don't want to go home, I hurt too much to go through that. I hurt too much. I hurt too much. I hurt too much. Oh, that's actually a song on my album Light Year that's available wherever you listen to music, and it sounds like this.
Oh, I hurt too much.
LIAHONA, that's my girl. Her pitch is bananas. Let's go.
Hey. Come on. That I woke up feeling this way.
Ew.
I can't help loving myself, and I don't need nobody else. Now I've been
Going for it.
you. I wanna be me too. I wanna be me too.
Man.
I wanna be me too. If I was you, I wanna be me too.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yo, the splits. So many things I loved about this performance. One, she's freaking going for it again. Great song. I just love her energy. She's bringing something that no one else is bringing. She might be the first Idol contestant ever that can do an up-tempo pop song, and I'm into it. Most time people do up-tempo current pop songs, I'm rolling my eyes or run around the stage. I'm just like, ugh, give me a break. She does it so well and does all the stuff. She's not just running around, she's kicking. Holy cow, the splits. That freaked me out. I had no idea she could do that. She is the full package. She is doing everything that I would want to see someone do if I was going to trust them to be a big pop star. I'm a big LIAHONA fan. Always have been. So happy to see that she was able to get through the adversity that she was facing, hear Katie out, and give this performance all she had, and she did it, and it was awesome. MADISON sings Man's World. What the heck?
This is a man's world.
Seriously, this is the time I have to give it all I got.
I don't know you
Girl
could do
power.
that.
This is a man's world.
It's just me and the band.
Don't edit
I want
her
to push
talking
myself
over
because
this.
I know I can do it.
Nothing. Man made the train to carry the heavy,
Dang
heavy
it.
load.
Good.
Man made the electric light to take us out of the dark. And man made the boat for the water. Like no, he built the ark. This is a man's world, but it don't mean nothing. Oh, he's lost in the wilderness.
Nice. I don't know if she could do that. Those runs, are you kidding me? I had no idea. She's slayed. I never say that word, slay. I never say that when I talk about singers, but I wrote it down right here. Slay. She was great. And I've seen her a little bit in the montage belting, so I knew she was gonna give it, but it sounded a lot better in her key. The chords at the end were weird, and I was not a fan of them.
This is a man's world, but it don't mean nothing without.
What are these chords? Which surprises me because typically any musical decision that the band makes or one of the arrangement coaches makes is usually earth-shattering to me, blows my mind, and helps me out so much. I worked with a lot of the same people that are on the show doing these arrangements, and they're freaking brilliant. But this was an example of me not liking whatever they decided to do. I don't know who decided those chords. They were weird. I didn't like them. You got a lot of options there, and I didn't like those. But MADISON was awesome. Lionel says, well, listen, it doesn't get any better from here, talking about the pressure, and it actually does get a lot better after this. I don't know what their cut is from 24 to 12, if it's all at once or gradual, but when it gets to 12, it's actually way more relaxing. Think about it, Hollywood Week, you get there with 250 people or so, 3 days later, there's only 24 left. That's some steep cuts. So it actually does get quite a bit better from here. And she celebrates with some more cheerleader jumps. She was a cheerleader. She was a cheerleader. Those feet together and jumping, it's just in her and she can't hide it. And why hide it? You're a cheerleader, it's fine. Oh my goodness. We have found her. Guys, we have found her. The long lost child of R&B, soul, runs, and goodness. My favorite contestant, ANILEE, has found us and we have found her and she's back. Where she's been, I don't know. But we're here. It's fine, she's here. I'm okay to let all those things go, just knowing that she's in the top 24 and we're moving forward. And then they show her performance. Woo! Where's she been?
Oh, 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 ain't nobody loves me better, makes me happy, makes me feel this way. Oh, so deep we get, ain't nobody loves me better,
Bitch.
makes me
You better sing. Ooh, something happened. I gotta rewind. I can't yell over the runs.
I'm just super happy to get to the top 24.
Sing! Poof! She's crushing. She's crushing. Unbelievable pitch. Her runs, each individual note in each run is perfect pitch. And that is so freaking hard. The band does a breakdown thing at the end. The bass player goes to a 3. The whole band goes to a 3. And it's really dope. I'm gonna break that down. The key of this song is E flat minor, which is this chord. This note here is what makes the chord minor, and it gives the whole feel. So the original chords are, and it goes back to that E flat minor, right? An E flat major would be totally different than what the feel of the song is. Right here, it sounds real happy. Well, that's exactly what they do on this turnaround. And they not only just play an E flat major, they actually put the bass note and they make it that same note here that makes it major. So it really sticks out. Then they do a chromatic walk down. Chromatic just means half steps. Like that. So it sounds like this. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Then they go. And then just drums, and it's disgusting. To her left, there's one spot remaining. It's between CECIL and Drake, and honestly, at this point, I don't really care that much. They're both deserving. I'm not gonna die if one of them doesn't make it in. I'm not gonna be angry if one of them makes it in over the other, because they're both great. I think this was CECIL's worst performance, actually. It wasn't bad, but the song kind of just stays right here at about a 7 the whole time, where Drake freaking went for it. He was dancing, and while the hip thrust and the remarkably high kick made me a bit uncomfortable, he's still going for it. And he sang better and has really good control. And I think he actually sang better than CECIL did. I know CECIL can do better. He's got better control than he showed. So he could really show out in the future, but I was fine with giving Drake another chance. But they end up choosing CECIL over Drake, which is tough for Drake being in the top 24 almost twice. But that's where we're at. Something that kept going on in the show, back and forth, is you got to take a risk, or you can't play it safe. What is a risk? In my head, a risk is doing something that you don't know if it'll pan out or not. When you think of risks, I don't know if this is the stage to do. I'll take risks in rehearsal, and then if it really pans out in rehearsal, it's no longer a risk because I know it's gonna do well. I think some people think playing it safe is actually doing something middle of the road and just kind of a boring performance. That sounds like more of a risk to me. And making moments is another thing. Hunter Metz mentioned this. I think people perceive a moment being a big belting note where everyone goes, whoa, what a note. It can be that, but that's not necessarily what a moment is. A moment is just a moment in a performance that's really, really, really good. That's really what a moment is. That can be a big belting note, that can be a run, that can be a band hit, that can be a soft whisper. So yeah, try to make a moment as much as you can. If we're defining a moment as a space and time in the performance that's super good, let's do a bunch of those. But the word risk is not something that I want to describe my performance as. This might not do well. Let's go do it on national television where my whole career hangs in the balance. So I just finished the entire video, editing it, and then realized I forgot to do the outro completely. So yeah, I'm in a different shirt. The camera angle might be different, but it's okay. Here's our top 24. I'm okay with it. There's a handful that I don't think should be there, and a handful that I cannot believe aren't there. Talking about Heather Russell, what the heck happened to her? Amanda Mina, did Asher make it? So many people. They have their rhyme, they have their reason. We'll see if it pans out. For me, you gotta go with the best performers. This shouldn't be an argument. And when you put in someone who's okay with a character and personality, and you don't put in Amanda Mina, the best performer of the whole show, or a Heather Russell, I mean, you're killing me. You're killing me. We got some really great contestants that are in there. We'll go with that. Do me a favor while you're here. Go ahead and click the like button on this video and the subscribe button too. These videos have been growing since I mentioned I need help. So thank you. Let's keep it going. If you'd like to be a part of my instant reaction live stream right after the show, right after I watch it, I do a live stream on YouTube. If you want to be a part of that, you can join for $5 a month and be a member of the Groove Crew. Next week, we got some celebrity duets. That's exciting to me. We got Tori Kelly. The thing about Tori Kelly is you want to sing next to her? Like, is that who you want to sing next to in a competition? It's going to be an incredible experience though. Brian McKnight, a lot of really great singers. I'll see you next week. Be good.